Welcome to Social Science e-learning class. Myself, Sunita Shanai. Dear students, today we shall learn about the first chapter in sociology, that is social stratification. In this first part of the video lesson, I am going to discuss about three important concepts. They are social inequality, education and inequality, and gender inequality. Let us begin our discussion on social inequality. My question is, what is inequality? In simple term, inequality means differences, not the same. Differences in different criteria. For example, people are differ biologically. Dear student, compare yourself with your best friend. You may be belong to same gender, but you find differences in your height, weight, attitudes, intelligence, family background. In all these criteria, you are differ from your friend. It means differences are quite natural. It is the law of the nature. Even though human beings having same physical features like two eyes, one nose, head, hands, etc., but we are differ from each other in our look, attitudes, intelligence, nature, behavior, etc. So I can say that the individual differences exist in human beings. But in sociology, we are talking about social inequality. In this society, human beings are stratified according to various qualities. Here, stratified means divided or differentiated. Here I am not highlighting about the height, weight, look, beauty, etc. But qualities means criteria like gender, caste, religion, class, income, profession, etc. In these criteria, people are stratified. The meaning of the term strata is position. It means people are placed in different position or layers of the society. Everywhere we can find these strata in the society. It is also nature of the society. For the smooth functioning of any society or organization, we need hierarchical division. It means different layers. In fact, that people are stratified according to various qualities. I already told you. On the basis of gender, we are stratified or differentiated. Even because of caste or profession, what type of work we are doing, then our race, etc. This is the proof of social inequality. We can find social inequalities in our income sources, education, professional opportunities, health facilities, and political representation and participation. In actual sense, inequality as the unfair situation in society. Dear students, I am repeating the same sentence. What is inequality? Inequality means the unfair situation in society when some people have more opportunities than other people. This means the social inequality is the result of already present unequal social opportunities. Yes, because of this, social stratification or differences exist in our society. Social opportunities are not available to all in the society. Yes, it is true. Unequal social opportunities means certain groups are unprivileged in the society. It means deprived of certain opportunities, so they remain backward, and automatically inequality creates in the society between privileged and unprivileged. This resulted in unequal access to materials, resource, income, opportunities, recognition and status. Dear students, I am giving here one small example. With the help of that example, you can understand the concept. During olden days, Indian society was stratified into four groups according to Varna system. The Brahmins, who were top of the hierarchy, were able to access income, materials, resource, even higher status, whereas those who were in lower strata were unable to get even drinking water also. They did not permit to use public well, temples, etc. So their status remained very low. Even they did not get chance to access education. Thus, they remained uneducated. So, there was a gap between higher caste and lower caste people. Okay, let's see what are the effects of inequalities in society. The first point is people are denied of certain facilities and opportunities. Here, lower category people, lower caste people as well as very poor people. They denied of certain facilities as well as opportunities. Second point, some people are denied access to materials, resource, income, opportunities as well as recognitions and status. Other effects of social inequality are assimilation of wealth in the hands of very few. It means concentration of wealth in the hands of very few. By neglecting the social service sector, the life of the poor is made difficult. Let's move on the another topic, education and inequality. Education and inequality are closely related to social stratification. It means a system under which all the sections of the society are not given equal opportunities to get education in India. Those who are educated take the maximum benefits due to being better educated. They have better economic status. This inequality leads to major differences in the society. Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The power of education extends beyond the development of skills we need for economic success. It can contribute to nation building and reconciliation. No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated. Education is a special structure that brings in equal opportunities, openings, and social justice in human life. This means that it is the government responsibility to provide equal opportunities to all its citizens. The Constitution of India also write for the provision of educational opportunities to all the people of the country. So, every individual should have similar opportunities for getting education. Dear students, once again I am repeating the main aim of the education. It means what is the aim of the education? The aim or purpose of education is giving equal opportunities and social justice. This is the main point here. Education is a special structure that brings in equal opportunities and social justice in human life. Equality for educational opportunities means that the state should be devoid of discrimination on grounds of caste, gender, religion, region, race, language, etc. Every state has a moral responsibility that without any discrimination, every person should get an equal opportunity of education. The social justice aspect of education can be seen in the directive principles and preamble of the Constitution of India. Article 45 of the directive principles of state policy makes provision that the state shall endeavour to provide within a period of 10 years from the commencement of this constitution for free and compulsory education for all the children until they complete the age of 14 years. Here the term state which occurs in the article include Government and Parliament of India and the government, state legislature and all local or other authorities. Article 45 of the Constitution says that the provision of universal, free and compulsory education becomes the joint responsibility of the center and state government. In the Constitution, it was said that within 10 years, that is by 1960, universal compulsory education must be provided for all children up to the age of 14. But unfortunately, this directive could not be fulfilled. Vigorous efforts are needed to achieve the target of 100% primary education. The central government needs to advocate financial provisions for the purpose. At present, the rate of progress, it may be, however, be expected that this directive may be fulfilled by the end of this century. Under Article 39, it is said that providing social justice and people welfare is the duty of state government. Dear students, just go through the preamble of the Constitution of India. I am going to read. Please listen carefully. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. Our preamble resembles or gives an idea of social justice and equality of all citizens of India. This is the significance of the Constitution of India. Dear students, now let us see different articles in our Constitution and the educational provisions. Here we may ask the question like this: what are the steps taken by the Constitution of India to provide education to its citizens? It means constitutional measures. Yes, I already told you about preamble of the Constitution. But after 86th Amendment to the Constitution, Article 21A says free and compulsory education to all the children between 6 to 14 years is fundamental right of the children. Similarly, Article 19 says that right to speak and right to express one's own opinion is the fundamental right. Article 29 provides for the protection of cultural rights of the minorities. It protects the interest of the minorities. The minorities in India include Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Buddhists, Parsis and Jains. Thus, Article 30 provides for the establishment of minority educational institutions. Then Article 46 clearly expresses that it is the duty of the government to support the educational interests of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. The state shall promote with special care the educational and economic interest of the weaker sections of the people, and in particular of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and shall protect them from social injustice and all forms of exploitation. The Supreme Court decision to understand the right to live of Article 21 from education perspective is an important one by declaring school education as the basic right. The Supreme Court redefined the efforts to provide school education. Through this decision, it provided a new hope for the children. The Supreme Court of India, in its judgment in the case of Unnikrishnan versus Andhra Pradesh, clearly said that under Article 21A, getting free and compulsory education by all children between the age of 6 to 14 years is the fundamental right of the children. In this decision, the court has said that entire education structure beginning from Anganwadi education to higher education should be seen from holistic perspective. It means a complete, comprehensive or broad dimension. It includes all aspects of people's need, psychological, physical and social should be taken into account and seen as a whole. Thus, as per this decision, all the citizens of India have the basic right for education. It is the part of the right to live. But the opportunities for unequal opportunities in education are on the rise due to various legal issues. It means there is also a rise in inequality due to differential economic standards in the access to education. Still, the efforts to eradicate unequal opportunities in the field of education are on with the help of constitutional provision is very important. I am going to read all those points one by one. Once again, just revise. The social justice aspects of the education can be seen in the directive, policies and preamble of the Constitution of India. It means social justice is mentioned in our directive principles and preamble of the Constitution. Second point, Article 39 says providing social justice and people welfare is the duty of the state government. Third point, 86th Amendment of Constitution, Article 21A says free and compulsory education to all children between 6 to 14 years. Fourth point, Article 45 also says all the children under 14 years should be provided with the free and compulsory education. The next point is Article 19 says a fundamental right which says right to speak and express one's own opinion. The sixth point is Article 29 provides for the protection of cultural rights of the minorities. The seventh point is Article 30th provides for the establishment of minority educational institutions. It means even India, there are many minority education institutions are established and imparting education due to this article. Article 46 says that it is the duty of the government to support the education interest of the SC and STs. It means scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people. The decision of Supreme Court in the case of Unnikrishnan versus Andhra Pradesh said entire education structure beginning from Anganwadi education to higher education should be seen from holistic perspective. So, dear students, I hope you understood what are the constitutional measures that help to bring equality in educational opportunities as well as to bring justice in the society. I already told you education is a special structure that brings equality in the society and it opens new beginning. It supports national development. So, it is a responsibility of our government to provide educational opportunities to all its citizens. Okay, let's move on to the another topic, gender inequality. Dear students, you already learned about gender inequality in your previous class. Here once again I am remembering the topic. So what is gender inequality? In simple term, gender inequality means difference between men and women. Yes, men and women are not equal in our society. In this concept, you are also learning how does gender discrimination take place or what makes gender discrimination in the society. One person's thought influences by another. How a person thinks men or women is important here. She is not allowed to get proper education, employment according to her wish. She is only restricted to do her household activities. That is how we can see gender discrimination. Why this happens in our society? Why opportunities are given men and not women? Gender inequality, which is one of the various social inequalities, gets formed. In reality, our social perspectives are interdependent. I already told you it means one person's thoughts are influenced by others' thought. Such influences on an individual are maybe due to the thoughts of the family members or from the neighbors. Hence, the motivational issues supporting education of a boy or girl has moved in social sphere of human life. There is more gender-based inequality in access to school education, food and health facilities. It means these are the effects of gender inequality in the society. First, let us see the discrimination in access to school education. Millions of girls and young women miss out on school. It is estimated that 15 million girls, mainly those living in poverty, will never set foot in a classroom. It highlights the obstacles to girls getting a quality education. There is a wider gender disparity in the literacy rate in India. This shows that women are discriminated or they have very less chance to access school education in India. It negatively affects in our society. For example, according to 2011 census, the literacy rate of India is 73% and the female literacy rate is 65.46%, whereas male literacy rate is 80%. It clearly shows that our female or girls are deprived of educational opportunities in India. The next one is differences in access to food. India is the only nation where girls have greater risk of under 5 mortality than boys. More than 120 million women in developing countries are underweight. Experts say that female hunger is due to gender inequality. You might have observed in your own family the tradition itself supports men to access food. In a family, women make sure the men eat first and they are the ones to eat last. Mother, who is always the last to eat. This shows that there is more gender-based inequality in access to food. Even today, in some parts of India, we can see discrimination in access to food as well as healthcare facilities. Female child is neglected and she is not provided healthy, nutritious food as well as healthcare facilities. In the actual sense, she needs more health conscious than a boy child. But unfortunately, she is neglected. This results negatively on her health. According to National Family Health Survey, rural women of Karnataka have a body mass index of 24.3, whereas the urban women of 16.2. This means the women have lesser BMI. 60.9% of the children between 6 and 56 months have severe anemia. 45.2% of the pregnant women suffer from anemia. In this scenario, the development should include the food and nutrition security to the women and children. Through this, one should try to overcome the gender-based discrimination. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for upcoming video lessons.